From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Sulaiman Aleda.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, House of Representatives summons service chiefs over adoption of Chibok school girls. Former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, warns politicians to desist from playing politics for the nation's security. Federal government reassures the global community that Nigeria would eradicate terrorism from its shores. And gunmen storm leaders' parliament, injure some lawmakers. Election of a new prime minister stalled.
On Business News tonight, FBN Holdings drives volume at the equities market as lender releases full-year results for 2013.
And on Sports News tonight, Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling banned for life by the National Basketball Association for making racist comments.
Well, the abduction of some schoolgirls from Federal Government College in Chibok, Borno State, on April the 14th has now become a national concern. Aside from the parents of the missing girls, the National Assembly has joined in demanding a quick action that would lead to the release of the schoolgirls. Today, the House of Representatives summoned the service chiefs for more explanation on the steps taken by the military so far on the Chibok situation. Our correspondent Linda Akigbe reports on the search for the missing schoolgirls and also the concerns expressed by Borno indigents.
These are the mothers, fathers, and relatives of the young girls abducted 15 days ago from their school in Chibok, Borno State. They left their community and gathered here at the Eagle Square, Abuja, to take their protest to the National Assembly in the hope that their efforts will see to the release of their children. For these people, it's been 15 long days of grief, anguish, and uncertainty over the fate of their children who were abducted by insurgents. One mother could not hide her pain any longer. Others pleaded with government to do more in securing the release of their children.
Our daughters have been distributed in groups. Some are crossing to Chad. Some are going. We do not know where our daughters are. 200 plus. They are nowhere to be found. Nobody is telling us where our daughters are. Nobody is consulting us.
We need to know that the government is putting an effort to rescue them, but that we feel it has not yielded result in the sense that we haven't seen any of our daughters who have been rescued after the event, except for those who were able to escape on their own.
The relations then began the walk to the National Assembly. They were received by some federal lawmakers.
I assure you that Senate is not sleeping. Senate is not reneging on its responsibility, but is working very hard to ensure that something is done very urgently on this matter.
Unbeknown to the women, the issue of the abduction of the 230 young girls is being debated at the two chambers of the National Assembly.
I've been in the forefront of saying we must go to dialogue. We must dialogue with them, we must discuss with them. But I think we must take this battle to a level where they also will now call for dialogue.
Other lawmakers questioned the role of neighboring countries in dealing with the insurgency. This position was echoed in the House of Representatives.
There must be some kind of interagency, interministerial collaboration between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, between the military, with the United Nations, with ECOWAS, everybody coming together to look at this regional administration so that we are given the right of pursuit to be able to track these insurgents, and so that there's some kind of collaboration between all the countries in the region to work together to stop this. For me, it looks like government has broken down.
After the debate, the House of Representatives summoned security chiefs and heads of security agencies to brief it on the efforts made so far to release over 200 girls abducted in Chibok, Borno State.
Those against, please say nay.
Well, in the meantime, a Nigerian citizen faces a maximum 30 years in prison after pleading guilty to charges of providing material support to an Al-Qaeda affiliate. 33-year-old Lawal Olani Babafemi, who appeared before a federal judge in Brooklyn, New York, today also pleaded guilty to participating in the media and recruitment campaigns of a foreign terrorist organization. Now, the plea came ahead of July 14th trial date and followed a Nigerian court's decision in August to grant a U.S. request for Babafemi's extradition. It's alleged that the defendant traveled to Yemen to put himself at the disposal of a violent terrorist organization that has repeatedly demonstrated its determination to inflict harm on the United States and its citizens. Prosecutors say that the group's leadership, including Anwar al-Awlaki, paid Babafemi almost $9,000 to recruit English-speaking people from Nigeria. U.S. District Judge John Gleason scheduled sentencing for the 27th of August. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Aminu Wali, has described the challenge of northern insurgency as a global phenomenon which requires international partnership. In an interview with our correspondent Benga Ashiru at the United Nations headquarters in New York, Ambassador Wali says the federal government is doing its best to fight insurgency.
I'll be very honest in my reaction. Security issues today is a global issue. Terrorism is transnational. Terrorism has permeated everywhere. And the terrorists that we may have at home are not only operating at home, they are linked to various terrorist organizations worldwide. Therefore, the fight against terrorism is something that should involve the international community to come and tackle it. But me as a Nigerian foreign minister, if I'm asked, I will probably roll out those actions that have been taken and those that have been put in place to contain the problem. But at the same time, I cannot come out and say everything that I know, because when we talk about security, you have to be very, very careful in what you disclose, because that may give the game away to the terrorists. So obviously, I just tell people that yes, Nigerian government is concerned. No government, no responsible government will sit back and allow its people to be slaughtered like it's being slaughtered. Nigerian government is doing everything in its power and reach out for assistance from those countries that have had experiences in containing situations of this nature to support us and help us through their own past experiences to handle our own situation on top of whatever efforts and initiative that we are making at home to contain the situation.
Well, Ambassador Aminu Wali, Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, speaking with our correspondent Benga Ashiru at the New York United Nations headquarters in New York. Now, the Lagos State Governor, Babatunde Fashola, is proposing a massive deployment of professionals into the country's most challenged sectors if Nigeria wants to see the desired changes. At an event put together by a new online newspaper, The Cable, various speakers, including former military head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, agreed that with the right mix of good government policy, a strong civil society and the political will, Nigeria can turn things around. Also lending his voice to the theme of the event, Nigeria at 100, Reflections of the Future, The Chairman Chief Executive Officer of Channels Television, Mr. John Momo, wants to see a total overhaul of the country's value system, which he says will strengthen its evolving growth. Our correspondent Olu Phillips reports.
A little while ago, we had events commemorating our centenary celebrations as a nation, which got amalgamated in 1914. And whilst we thought that event had waned, we had another nationhood discussion this morning, and we had distinguished panelists sharing and bearing their minds on the last 100 years and the next 100 years.
We can continue to complain about the first and all things that have gone wrong, but that will not solve any problem. All we need to do today is to look forward and take sincere steps to be part of the solution. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the politicians and indeed to all Nigerians to always put Nigeria first.
We still got a lot of hope for this country. And it starts with governance, good governance. The governance is very strong. If we have rule of law, and if those of us do good stuff, Nigeria is going to improve.
We are making strides in many ways, far more than we understand. But, it's just that there are a few things that we have to get right. The communication sector, we have made quantum leaps. The banking sector, as you have seen, we have made quantum leaps. But what really gets us down are those things in the public sector, building the foundation for development. The roads system, the lighting, electricity, those basic things that affect life in every way. Those are the things we're not getting right, the right policies.
Nigeria is a combination of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so it is in so many nations of the world. It is the degree to which you put these different components that makes a nation great. I think in Nigeria we've had a lot of the good, as has been espoused to by this distinguished senator. We've had quite a bit of the bad, but we have a large measure of the ugly. And if you do think now that in this time, 2014, that the ugly resides in the sphere of the leadership, we might be missing the point. And so that's why you see that in this country, it seems that the nation is under siege by a few people who have seen that politics is the road to stardom and the road for financial security. This has to change.
In a nation where professionals cannot thrive, if they leave lawmaking to non-professionals, they can't know your business, they can't know your trade. And so, talent is a very great idea, but it is subject to government policy. I would like to see John Momo in the Senate, in the House of Reps. We have to occupy the state. That really is it. It's a time when we must take a decision. It's not going to happen by law. It's not going to happen by chance. The Rockefellers and all of those who built America, it didn't happen by chance. It was a plan. Where do we want to be? Where is the critical mass of people who want to take that responsibility and leave personal effort, leave personal benefits, family benefits, and come and sacrifice in the public space?
One of the things cutting through here is leadership. Quality of leadership in our governance.
In all, the consensus around here is such that believes that for the change we want to see, everyone out there, and I mean everyone out there, have to look into the mirror and see the change and be that change they see in the mirror. From Lagos, this is Olu Phillips reporting for Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, the president sacks his political advisor, Mr. Ahmed Bulak. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.